What is happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today we are heading over to CES Motorsport to finally take care of this rasp in this S55. Currently in the M4 GTS, and we are going to be installing the Active Autowerke resonated equal length mid pipes. Big shout out to my buddy F80 Ho for just putting me on with this whole setup. I was trying to figure out which direction I wanted to go. With the GTS, it's a little bit different because you have the titanium rear section, and then the middle section is still the same as any other F8X. It's stainless steel, but the GTS rear section is in fact titanium, just like the MPE rear section. So that's where you get a lot of that like tinny noise in this setup. And from what I understand, the equal length with the resonation is supposed to be just the way to go with this car. Either that or the Active Autowerke single pipe setup. But I went for the equal length with the resonation. I think that's gonna be the ticket. If not, we'll just make adjustments from there. The nice part is we don't actually have to cut into the titanium. That was a big concern of mine because I didn't want to have to manipulate the parts of the GTS that are specific to the GTS, which is the muffler. We will be cutting into the midsection, but that really doesn't matter so much. It's stainless steel. It's the exact same as any other M4 or M3. So super excited to see how this thing sounds, man. I'm gonna play a bunch of clips right here of the previous setups. So yeah, as you guys can tell, this thing is, man, it's raspy. Like, it sounds good, it's loud, but there is just that bit of rasp that I would like to try and eliminate as much as possible. I don't think we'll be able to get rid of all of it because of that titanium muffler, but I definitely think we can make it sound a little bit better. We just hit 30K over the weekend. She's getting so old. All right, back at the shop with the man, the myth, the legend, Caveman. Sus. Low car problems. Gotta jack it up before you jack it up. All right, we got the equal length here, along with the resonated sections back here. And then there should be a plate in here somewhere. I'm gonna dig around. But they give you a plate as well because the center brace on these, I actually have washers in mine right now because it touches the mid pipe. I think once you do down pipes, it tends to do that, but they got everything you need right here. You can go through it. There's a little center brace. It's like ridged downwards. You can use the QR code to figure out how to install it, but it's really easy. We're just gonna measure it up, mark it up, cut it up, drop the midsection down, throw in the new one. 1.5 inches from each welding point on the back. So if you look at it, right, here's your muffler, and then it actually goes into the rear section right here. So this is all titanium from here forward. Titanium, titanium up here, titanium. This is all one separate piece up there. And this is all stainless steel. So if you just go 1.5 inches, we'll mark those right there. That's what we'll cut. Same thing over here, 1.5 inches. Mark it, cut, and then everything else should line right up and lay right in. This is what I mean by the center plate. You'll see how this center brace piece is actually just like flat. They give you one that's sort of like beveled downwards like that to give you a little more room so the pipes can breathe a bit. Mine originally was rubbing just a hair on the clamp inside of here, so I used 2 washers for each one, but we won't need that anymore with the active stuff. On the rear section now, we got the front up, everything lined up pretty good. I'm running the ARM resonated catless down pipes for anyone who's wondering, and everything lines up pretty good. Oh yeah, like butter. Wow. Alright, just finished up everything, got everything lined up. Tips all look good. This diffuser is definitely coming off. I'm gonna do a different one. Everything lines up really good through here. Coming through, plenty of space with the active brace right here. No need for washers. Gives you plenty of room. It's a little bit tight in here. We're gonna wash this gap. If anything, I might bend the heat shielding a little bit. Give us some more room. Should be okay. All good, all good, all good. Kind of tight right here, but that should be all right too. Downpipes mount up good. I think it is officially time for some sound clips. That sounds way better. All right, you guys, so it is later in the day, and we're gonna do a little bit of driving and talking about the new setup. So the sound in general is really good. I actually really like the way that it sounds. There is a tiny bit of rasp at just low throttle, right around 2K RPM. So you only hear it if you're at like a certain, like 15% throttle. That's the only time you hear it at 2K RPMs. Other than that, you don't hear any rasp. In general, it sounds really, really good. I like the way it sounds. It has more of like a exotic tone to it, in my opinion. That sounds good. In my opinion, that sounds really good. It's just engine and exhaust. It's definitely much more refined with the resonated version. It's not as loud, but I like it. It sounds really, really good. Yeah, man. I'm into it. I'm definitely into it. I was a little bit nervous when we first started it up because it had like some rasp in the revs, but you have to be under load. Under load, it sounds like way different than it does stationary. So here's stationary. Doesn't sound bad at all. I'm like 99% certain that the reason that this car does that is because of the titanium muffler. It's not really something you can escape. Titanium just has that like tinniness to it. So if you're not running like the MPE or the GTS rear section, you're probably not even gonna have that. It's really only on these titanium parts that you start to get a lot of that. Also, full disclosure, I'm currently on the stock map via boot mode, but I removed my catalytic converter monitoring, and I also removed my cold start, and I changed the burbles up a little bit, just shortened them a little more. So that's why it's not as aggressive and crazy sounding as before. But yeah, you guys tell me what you think, man. I think this setup sounds really good. It was exactly what I was going after. You know, ideal scenario would be that we could remove that like 2K rasp right there. You know, it's not a lot, but it's like, but it's there. It's there. It's still got the rasp. And like I said before, it just has to do, it has to be the muffler. Like it has to. I know other people who are running this exact setup minus the muffler, and that does not exist. So I did talk to the guys at Active, and they're like, yeah, dude, with the titanium, like it's really tough to escape that rasp. Like pretty much guaranteed to get some form of rasp when you run titanium parts on the exhaust system like that. Just in nature, they have more of that like tin sound to them. I also think the burbles sound really good. I brought them back just a little bit. I think they're like a little bit more aggressive, but I've definitely pulled them back as far as like duration. And they sound nice. They sound nice. They're aggressive, but not too like over the top obnoxious. They're good. It's just like a few pops. 2, 3. Quick. Yes, sir. So right now I'm actually running the factory diffuser and then those goofy side pieces, but I'm waiting for my one-piece diffuser to get in. I'm going to be running the 3D Designs one piece, which I think is just going to look a lot better in my opinion. Not that I hate this one, but the one piece is definitely the way to go. Just less moving parts, which I think is smarter. But she's looking really good, man. And sounding a whole lot better, that's for sure. Huge shout out to the guys over at Active Autowerke and CES Motorsport for making all of this happen today. If you guys are interested in buying the equal length mid pipe for this car, I'm gonna have it linked down below, as well as the single piece mid pipe from Active Autowerke, so I'll have that linked down below as well. I think it sounds a lot better. It's definitely not perfect, but like I said, I don't think that there's really any way to get around that if you want to retain the titanium muffler in the back. So that'll have to be something that I consider. Do I run like a different type of muffler? Do I just deal with the little bit of rasp that it has? I'm like 99% sure that if I run a different muffler, that rasp will be completely gone. So I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Should I run a different muffler? Knowing me, eventually I will likely end up getting a different muffler so I can 100% remove that rasp, because I actually really like the way that it sounds under load. It's just that little bit of rasp when you're like cruising around 2K. Anyways, guys, I hope this video helped you out. If you guys are interested in buying any merch, I'll have it all linked down below, but I appreciate you guys as always. Love you. See you in the next one. Peace.